Well, we know Nuncree is a bad guy. He's no good. Oh, what's she doing out here? You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? No? He got me waiting around like a last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. He's probably dead. Sorry, sis. Let's caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to log down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think
looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does want to do something good for the town. He actually is he's a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. He's actually not. I didn't pull strings installing you as the mayor so you can make friends. And your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered us help, and we accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That's just a temporary arrangement. The glow could be seen from our yard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Mrs. Cry hung in the air.
We have no choice but to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be part of that future or forgotten in the past? Now, he's a problem because he's so indifferent to everything. It's ridiculous. It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you'll always be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Why is she walking that way, though? Is she going to see Gran? And he walked this way. What's he doing here? This is her adopted son.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncree. Is he still here? I'm afraid not. Hey, where'd you get that candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot by a person based on their choice of confection. Yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wonder why Mr. Nuncree kept the licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. What's up, Baja? It's definitely that phone booth. Have you ever seen anyone actually use that thing? It's definitely the phone booth. I remember him throwing me in there, so...
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
This is not a normal phone booth. It's got a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Creed New Drugstore! I mean, Underground Secrets! The password!
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
It sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we're and it drops down, right?
The side of the phone booth dropped loose from
Right.
its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate.
This is the scary music.
Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing.
Mm-hmm.
It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
No, we're inside now.
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew it'd be a secret hub full of strange tubes under a phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Look, do you remember how I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real? Rollo, at one point or another, you said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on it. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And secret tubes. Pa always says, you can only trust a miner up to the point where they hit the gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to this exact situation. I don't know, his Pa's stuff has been on point. That's the thing about Pa, you don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Fishing trying to get these rookie numbers up. How you? Rookie numbers? Fishing? I'm good. I'm trying to crack the code. I gotta finish these games, so I'm on a mission, Baja. You know it takes me forever to finish games, right? I'm trying to finish all these games so I can do my top 10 list by December. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. This is where they dump the trash. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tomb going up to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. This is a suit that has a broken mask. So we found our mystery warehouse creeper. At least we found their hazmat suit. So that was Mr. Nuncree he hit. If it walks like a Nuncree and talks like a Nuncree, let's not jump to conclusions. I'm just saying. It's definitely Nuncree because he's the only one who uses his phone booth. That's a lot of buttons. Beck's gonna press one, right? It has to be Beck. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi stuff.
Rollo's hands hovered
Oh,
over the
dang.
blinking button.
It was Rollo this time. Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow it yet. What was that? Hi. Where? There's nothing but tubes down here. Just get back. Oh, we're dead. Crap. Awesome. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. They love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I could keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Oh, hold on now. I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncree.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends way back.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? The same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. Okay, one day Sharper Valentine comes to us. He says he's got an opportunity. He said he found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. My dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing is, I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help people if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep saying yes until he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper is long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to the sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's gonna disrupt the festival. Why would she?
Color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She got maps, explosives, bad intentions, big man. Why are y'all telling him everything?
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's gonna do right now. She doesn't understand what she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map marked with the fountain town square. The fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze him. Dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far as this town can get you. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. Bro, they're terrible. You good? Yep. I love this sound. Bro, Beck just likes adventure. Beck just wants, like, Beck is a bad kid.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments.
This is the engineering area, so she might run into her mom.
Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant,
We're back under down at the old town.
view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh, so that's what that manhole cover was for. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got any of us. Doesn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why do you even want to blow something up out here? And one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up with Nuncreed. I think he went this way. I want to go this way, though. Familiar, yeah. Maybe we could clear it off with snow. No, we need to clear it off. Luca. Luca, you fool! We have to clear it off, you idiot! Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most versed on things, all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like a frozen replica of the town. Oh, I got it. It's obvious now. Nuncreed's alien. Rolla, stick with me here. His species is the only one that can live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through the metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not gonna solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed the whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know this man's entire life was a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas of how to effect change. Very convenient that your way happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
How is that torch still lit?
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And the stillness he began to... Let's go weep.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This all makes soon, Luca. and everything can go back to normal. She about to freeze us all. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness.
We all frozen over.
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
Well, you see, Joseph, I've learned a very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, you must be willing to...
Gran could finish. The ground shook her to silence.
Whap, whap, whap.
Only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy.
That's definitely his mom. That's not his grandma.
Brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end.
No.
Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Okay, so I can hum here. Y'all see Gran with the torch, okay? Okay, so this tree grew out. I still can't do this one.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm.
This is how you're gonna find out this is his mother and not his grandmother.
The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Amazing grace. Oh, he's actually humming.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself.
That's his mama.
Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along.
Hey, somebody put this on a trap beat. Look at Becca and Nerola. Just chilling. And then Mr. Nuncreed just grabs them both and throws them into the source.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? Other people call me that's my mom and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
I knew that was his mom. Mom? That's right, Buckaroo. Mom?
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their.
And then she's just like, psych, and throws him down there. Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
It has to be that green ooze that changed her. How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you would have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. No, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until the perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if ever I thought, oh my god. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They don't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. That makes sense, because it's like when Iggy got exposed, they wouldn't stop searching for him. So she got exposed, so they were searching for her like crazy. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We got a party to crash. Now, there's still some sections I could go to, though. So I don't know if this is the true ending or not. I don't understand. He always wins. Oh, you was in competition with the dad?
The devil you know.
Oh.